What's cracking, yo? Welcome back to Boo TV. Appreciate you for stopping in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, and let's get into the topic for today. Recently, I just put out a video about my thoughts on the 2023 All-Star Game. And even before that, I had put out a video that basically stated, what happened to the All-Star Game. It has fallen from grace. But I just wanted to make this short video here so you guys could see how the competitiveness has just dissolved when it comes to the All-Star Game. And I don't want to keep repeating myself as I have covered this in previous videos, but just to get the gist of what I'm saying. There was a point in time where there was a lot of pride taken in the All-Star Game. East versus West, back when it was East versus West. And these conferences loved teaming up with the best players in their conference to go against the best players in the other conference because they felt like they had something to prove. Especially during the times where the Western Conference was so big and had so much talent as compared to the weaker Eastern Conference by record and by the sheer quality of star power they had. And the East, every year, they would come in like they had something to prove, win or lose. Because all they ever hear is how stacked the West is. And they came in every year like they had something, whether they got beat up or they won. They played hard on both ends. I'm not saying both teams played playoff level defense from beginning to end. No. But they played pretty decent defense for the first three quarters. And then for that fourth quarter, the defense really turned up. It isn't what you see today. It isn't free passageway to layups. It isn't free three-pointers. Like, these players most times had a body on them, had a hand in their face, and met resistance at the rim. At the time, back in the day, you had players making the All-Star Game based on their defensive prowess. So they were in there to block shots, get steals, and make things difficult. And they relished showing their defensive talents off against the great offensive talents. This was once a time. People practice revisionist history and try to defend this era of players and the All-Star Game, and they'll say, oh, they never played defense in the All-Star Game ever. That is an absolute goddamn lie. And it's a smack in the face to everybody that watched basketball for back in the day that knows their shit and knows that there was some level of defense, of admirable defense being played. And these players cherish going one-on-one or going, 5-on-5 against the team or player at any given point on that court. There was a time, especially a player like Kobe Bryant. He arguably took the All-Star Game more serious than anybody I've ever seen. More serious than Magic, more serious than Bird, more serious than Jordan. Kobe was super competitive, and even in the All-Star Game, it was like blood in the water, and Kobe was the great white shark. In fact, especially when the newer generation came in, right? The Banana Boat crew, the Wade, the Carmelo, Chris Bosh, and then the ones even after that following their lead. Some of those players would get annoyed at Kobe Bryant because he was always hounding the other player on defense and being so serious about the All-Star Game. But Kobe relished competition, and he was all about Kobe would say, this is the one time in the whole season you get the best players in the world all on the court at the same time. Fans are paying their money to watch this game. Why wouldn't you go out and compete? Why wouldn't you want to go out and represent for your conference and show me what you got, because I'm going to show you what I got. This is the one time you can do this. Let's compete. And as Kobe got older, and especially after his Achilles injury, he saw what was happening to the All-Star Game and the lack of competitiveness and nobody playing defense and people just out there being willy-nilly. I remember Kobe's last All-Star Game. They interviewed him before the game, and they were like, hey, Kobe, not verbatim, generally asked him questions about the All-Star Game. And Kobe was like, hey, I just hope that these players come out and compete today and then mimic the rest of the stuff that I said earlier. He's like, we're out here to compete. I hope we can just, put our hard hats on, go to work, and show some level of competitiveness and play for something. Them players didn't want to hear that. That was all new generation at that point. All the new generation, they didn't want to hear that. They probably scoffed. Kobe couldn't stand it. And you wonder why he was sitting out. Not only because of his age. And it's like, okay, they'll say, I want to give the young guys some more time to shine. I want to rest my body. No. If those guys were competitive, I know for damn sure Kobe would have played some more minutes than that. But it was an abomination to him, and I know it was. I'm not going to say he'd never say it, because he would say it. Kobe didn't bite his tongue for anybody. However, I just wanted to show you guys, look at this. The expression, I'm going to show you a clip from, in my opinion, the best All-Star game ever. And it's after a deflating loss the Western Conference suffered at the hands of the Eastern Conference, after the Eastern Conference made an amazing comeback. The Eastern Conference was getting their ass whipped the entire game, and led by Allen Iverson, Stephon Marbury, and some great plays by Vince Carter and Tracy McGrady, they were able to come back. Oh, and Dikembe. You got to mention Dikembe Mutombo. And they were able to come back and beat the West, and it all came down to the final possession. Now, I want you to watch and see how much this game meant to both teams. Watch how the Eastern Conference is celebrating, and watch Kobe Bryant's face after that loss. It tells you everything you need to know about the competitiveness of that generation of players and the ones before them, even in an all-star game, how hard they played and what that game meant to them for bragging rights. Check out the video.
Marbury guarding Bryant. Down to three. Marbury trying to get to Bryant. Duncan came up short, and it's over. The East comes from 21 down.
Look at that.
To defeat.
Look at that emotion.
Outscore the West.
Look at that emotion.
21 in the fourth quarter.
Look at that. When have you ever seen this in an All-Star game?
Best All-Star games I've ever seen. Just the big plays, getting back in the game. And you know what? Mutombo, probably not going to get the MVP, but he gave his team.
Look at Kobe's face. Kobe is furious. Rewind that.
But he gave his team a chance
Dude is
to win.
pissed.
For Marbury and Iverson to shine at the end. Mutombo, probably not going to get the MVP, but he gave his team.
Kobe is not happy. Kobe wanted to win more than anything at all costs, even in an All-Star game. He looked like he wanted to slap somebody's mama right now. Kobe is not happy, especially because Kobe had hit 3 big clutch baskets before that last possession. Extremely difficult baskets. All for naught. Pissed in an All-Star game. The ultimate competitor.
A chance to win, and for Marbury and Iverson to shine at the end of that game and give them a chance.
Look at
to
the
win this
emotion.
Basketball game. Look who changed the shot, Mutombo, and then here's Vince Carter on the rotation coming over, getting a piece of Duncan's shot. And the East is very, very excited. Down 21.
And notice the double team on Kobe. He had got double teamed the last 2 possessions before that, I believe. When do you see somebody getting double teamed in an All-Star game? It was a different breed back then.
In his 28 minutes with 22 rebounds.
Kembe Mutombo, 22 rebounds, 3 block shots.
These guys don't care about winning. When that game was on the line, you saw exactly the competitive instincts come out.
You can't tell me. I've watched basketball my whole life. You can't tell me anything different with your revisionist history. Listen, just the league is not the same. All these players want to do is rest. They don't have the same level of competitiveness as the players before them. They don't, especially when it comes to basketball. Like, it was always basketball back then. It didn't matter what the occasion was. It was always basketball, and I want to win for a lot of those players. Now they just if I'm a fan at the arena, I'm pissed I spent money on that All-Star game for that garbage shit show. It's a circus act. It's a circus act. People not playing. People not guarding each other. Open layups, open dunks. It's not even fun to watch. It's not. It's horrible. It's absolutely trash. And it's been trash for years. Man, I miss the good old days, man. I miss that was that generation there. They took all the snub nose pit bull, lay it all out on the court at all times, compete at all times. That was the last of a dying breed. That generation right there, headed by Kobe, Duncan, KG, Shaq to a lesser degree. He was and before them, but AI. Did I say T Mac? Stevie Francis, Baron Davis, Jason Kidd, Steve Nash, Dirk Nowitzki. Them boys was built different, man. Them boys was built different. Kills me how soft this league is today, how watered down this league is today. All these inflated statistics in the league today. These guys are pampered. They have all the health benefits that the players didn't have before them, and medical benefits, facility benefits, rest benefits, travel benefits, and all this shit. And an extended All-Star break, and they can't get out on the court and put on a show and play with some goddamn heart. Now, they all buddy. I'd rather you just if you ain't gonna go out there and play, just don't just sit out. Take your nomination, take your selection, and just sit out and bring me some D League players. And I don't know. I miss that generation. And listen, I'm being completely unbiased and real. I ain't that old dude talking about back in my day, back in my time. It so happens that is the fact of the situation, but everything I said is pure facts. Ain't nothing I'm saying lying. The proof is in the pudding, baby. Anyway, let me know what you think about it. It's the last All-Star video I'm putting out for the year. I'll link the other videos in the description of this one if you want to check them out. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that goddamn bell. I'll catch you on the next one. We out, baby.